Hey guys, it's Adam from Outback, Iowa, and yesterday 2 days ago, I went to my local Home Depot, and I got some different seeds and greenhouses, and I wanted to show you guys what I got. So, down here I got the Jiffy Professional Greenhouse, which has 72 different peat pellets, and I'm growing watermelon. I have 3 different types of watermelon. I planted 24 of each variety. There's Jubilee, Orange Tender Sweet, and Bush Sugar Baby. Then in this one, this is the Jiffy Tomato Greenhouse, which has 36 different peat pellets in it, and I'm growing 3 different kinds of tomato, 12 of each. I have the Honey Delight Hybrid, Steak Sandwich Hybrid, and Porterhouse Tomato Hybrid. And inside the greenhouse, I'm not going to lift it all the way up, but you can kind of see the seeds and such, and I just started these yesterday. And right here is the, forget what this one is called, but it's something about like hexagons or something, which is because all these every single cell in here is a hexagon. There's 72 different cells, and I'm growing marigolds in this one. There's 3 different types of marigold that I'm growing. There is this one called Cottage Red, and I'm also growing Jaguar and Climax hybrids in this greenhouse. And next greenhouse is one of 2 Jiffy seed starter greenhouses. This one contains zinnias. On this side I have some dwarf zinnias, some mini zinnias, the smaller ones, pinwheel mix in the first 2 Jiffy strips here, and then on this side I also have some pinwheel mix, and then on the other side of this strip I have Purple Prince zinnias, and then these other ones I have Purple Prince zinnias in, which the Purple Prince ones are what you call giant zinnias, because they get bigger, and they also have way bigger flowers, and I'm really excited about those because those are a surefire way to bring wildlife into your garden. And I don't really see a lot of zinnias in my plant nurseries as pot plants, and when I do, I don't see a lot of variety. And in the last greenhouse, this is another seed starter greenhouse. On one side, for the first 25 out of 50 cells, I have I believe they're called Springtime Mix, and it's they're pansies, which I've never grown pansies from seed before, so I'm excited. And the other one that I've never grown from seed before I'm doing this year is Coleus, which is on the other half of the greenhouse, and the one with the pansies, which I put those in there just because, I didn't want to buy 2 different greenhouses and just plant 1 seed packet per greenhouse. And actually, the way it worked out really well because I only had enough seeds to plant a couple in each. I only had enough seeds to, fill up half a greenhouse, so I'm glad that I bought the amount that I did, and I made sure everything fit the way it did. But yeah, those are my greenhouses right now, and so the way you want to start growing your seeds, you want to start by preparing whatever sort of greenhouse setup that you're creating, and there's some different ones for different types of plants. So for these first 2, the tomato greenhouse and the professional greenhouse, they have these little peat pellets in them, and they're basically, you can just bury the entire peat pellet in the ground, and there's really no need for there's not a lot of transplant shock or anything, which a lot of vegetables and fruits don't like to be transplanted. So that's the perfect alternative, because that way they don't suffer that much, and that just increases your success rate. But yeah, I do like growing seeds in those. Those are really convenient, because instead of having a bunch of little pots, you have these peat pellets. And then this professional greenhouse with the peat pellets I got for $7.98 at Home Depot, and then the tomato greenhouse I got at Home Depot for $13.98, which I thought was a little pricey, but I did want to try that one out, which it's not much different than the professional greenhouse, but I am pretty satisfied with the way it works. It is actually pretty. I don't know why, but I actually think I might get another one next year instead of just using the professional greenhouse. But then again, I have to think, because I'd be able to grow more varieties in the professional greenhouse, because there's only 36 in here, and there's 72 pots in this one, which is a lot better. So we'll have to see next year. Depends kind of on how many I want to grow, but it actually would probably be easier to do this one, or better yet, just buy 2 boxes of refills for the professional greenhouse, because they are smaller, but and I could probably fit 72 of them in here, because the refill boxes for these are like $2-3, I think. But yeah, those are the first 2, and basically with these ones, all you have to do is add water, because the discs are just like these little flat peat discs at first. They're like flat and almost rock hard. I added 10.5 cups of warm water to this one. It has to be warm. And I added 15 cups to this one, and over time they expanded. I do like this one because the pellets do stay moist, and there is a lot of humidity in here, which is very good for starting seeds. And these other ones, there's not as much condensation forming, so maybe not quite as humid, but when I pull back the lids, and if I have my hand anywhere near, I definitely feel it a little bit warmer and humid, and more humid in there, so I know there is some humidity going on. In this greenhouse, I grew my 3 varieties of marigold, and there was actually marigolds on the front of the package. That was the plant they decided to use in the front of the package. And I thought, I love marigolds. Marigolds are very easy to grow from seed. I've never had any sort of problem growing marigolds from seed. They are extremely easy, and if you're kind of a beginner gardener, I want to tell you that growing annuals from seed is a great way to save some money, because a lot of annuals that you grow from seed, particularly marigolds and marigolds and what was the other one? Cosmos actually grow really well from seed too. Those two annuals are very easy to start from seed, and it's a lot cheaper to start them from seed than it is to buy a 6 to 8 pack of annuals at the store, because with seeds and the greenhouse that I bought, I think I spent a total of a little less than $10 on just the marigolds, and I mean that's up to 72 marigolds depending on how well my success rate is, and I'm expecting somewhere near that number just because of how easily I've gotten them to grow in the past. I mean, that's 72 plants for around $10, which $10 would only get you somewhere around like somewhere between 12 and 16 plants if you bought them as mature plants at your nursery. And then the other thing is you can find varieties of seed that you can't find as marigolds in the nursery, so you get to choose exactly what kind you want. So you don't have to settle for anything less than what you think of as perfection. So I like that about growing seeds. Same thing, that's why I grew the zinnias, because I can't find most varieties of zinnias that I like in my nursery, so I grow zinnias from seed. This is my first year that I'm actually starting them indoors though, and I'm hoping I get better results, because I usually only get 1 or 2 zinnias from the whole pack when I grow them, and I just start them outdoors. So I'm hoping that this gives me better results. And zinnias, if you like seeing insects and hummingbirds out in your garden, in your yard, especially butterflies, and you like seeing hummingbirds and stuff like that, zinnias are the way to go. So what I recommend though is that you pick a variety that gets about 12 inches or shorter, and you also pick a variety that gets somewhere between 30 to 36 inches or taller for zinnias. And that way, your wildlife will get to choose between the two, especially with like the butterflies and the honeybees will prefer usually to go for the smaller ones, just because they're smaller and they like to spend more time low to the ground, so a lot of them will choose the smaller ones. And then you get these big, huge butterflies, like you get monarchs and swallowtails and stuff on your larger zinnias, and so that is why I chose both of them. And I'm very excited because I love seeing purple zinnias, but I don't get to see a lot of them, and these purple Prince ones look absolutely beautiful, so I'm excited. I hope they bloom, because I do think I tried those a couple years ago, and they worked really well, so I'm hoping that those work. Last but not least, the pansies. First time growing those from seed, and I'm really excited. Not sure how well those are going to do, but cross my fingers, because I think my grandma grew them maybe, it had to be like 5 years ago, and she got decent success, but they're all a little finicky as little seedlings. And then last but not least is the Coleus, which I've never grown from seed before. I always grow them from cuttings, and that's really easy, but I've heard seeds are even easier, so I am crossing my fingers for great results with Coleus, because those are one of my favorite plants to grow. if you want, I'm going to make a playlist, and you can find that, and I'll go into more detail about those, because I'm out of time on this video.